I meant to be on earlier, but I'd been packing orders. And I'd been painting heads. And I've been on the phone. Been on the phone with their insurance and our orthopedic doctor with their office. Let me get the notifications turned off. Hey there, Ernie. Good morning, everybody. I had a call come in this morning from our orthopedic doctor, and they said my MRI got denied. So I had to call the insurance up. And I guess what happened was my doctor, their office submitted it twice. It was the first time I got approved, and then they went ahead and denied the second one. So I had to call back the doctor's office to let them know what happened. Yep, a bunch of red tape. We had quite a few orders come in yesterday, but nobody took advantage of that VET 10 discount code. We got a bunch of orders. Oh man, I'm gonna close the blinds over there because I got a glare just bouncing right off my glasses here. Go ahead and shut these a little bit. Okay, is that better? Oh, that's not even better. Put it on the other side here. Let's see if that's better. I think that's better. Okay, that's a whole lot better. Yeah, I'm glad. I was kind of a little worried there. I thought, man, we just had it approved. I got the confirmation, the approval letter, and then at the doctor's office, they had an email come to them saying that it was denied. And I guess what happened was they submitted it on the 31st, and then they resubmitted it on the 5th of November. And so the 5th of November one got denied. So anyhow, everything's straightened up, hopefully. Hey there, Dave. I see my sparkly eyes now. Yeah, I bet you want to see them, don't you? Yeah, I had the sun glaring off one of the windshields of our vehicles. Let's see here. Hey there, Churgy. Hey there, Dave. Hey there, everybody. We got a lot to tie today. One of the orders has 25 packs of the Blackout jig. 3 different sizes, so we're going to be tying up the Blackout right after this color. I was hoping to get that order out today, but it doesn't look like. Oh yeah. Let's see. Well, we got 14 people in here. We had 23 a while ago. We'll see if it builds back up. You're dealing with good quality? Me? I sure hope so. Oh my. Oh my. What's way back there? See if I can get it with the magnet. I'm done. Other than all that, I'm having a pretty good morning. I got in the shop this morning around 6:30. And I can't believe I'm just getting on my first live stream this late. But we had a few orders come in last night. And then dealing with the doctor's office and the insurance. But we're all set to go on the 24th, and then I go see the orthopedic doctor again on the 1st of December. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's going to be about 70 degrees today. It's going to be kind of warm for the next few days. Oh, thank you there, Ernie. I appreciate that. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. That's the biggest way to help our channel here, is just subscribing and throwing out likes. I don't really require any gifts or anything like that on my live streams, but they do help out though. $38 here. Big change from freezing. It is, yeah, that is. Hey there, Bob. Okay, that's pretty good there. 70 degree. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. It's still chilly in the shop here. A matter of fact, I may end up turning off the heater here. It says it's 64 degrees in here. I can live with 64 degrees. I ordered a new coat last night. So I got a new coat coming in on Friday. We got our grandson coming in later on today. He's gonna stay the evening with us. And then tomorrow, my son and daughter-in-law are coming in. They're gonna be staying the night with us. They have these classes they've been going to here in Tulsa, and they don't want to drive back. I guess their classes are pretty late in the evening. Welcome in, guys. We got 42 people in here. We had a lot of people in there yesterday. We had 200 at one point. These that I'm tying up are for a tackle store out in Florida. How far do I have to drive for good fly fishing? I can drive 5 minutes for fly fishing, but I mean, what are you talking about? Like for trout? You got to drive like 2 hours away to go somewhere for fly fishing. 2, 3 hours away. Well, say 2 hours. Now about like 3 or 4 hours away southward. And then, well, I've never been northward for fly fishing. I mean, but there is fly fishing in southeast Oklahoma. I mean, there's trout fishing, but I can go fly fishing for, sand bass here and crappie. But I don't do that unless it's springtime when the spawn is happening. Yeah, we don't really have any trout. They'll stock some of the ponds in wintertime in Tulsa, but I don't really go down there. Anytime after Thanksgiving till like February, I don't like messing around driving around Tulsa. What's to catch fly? What's the hardest? I don't know. I don't do a lot of fly fishing. We got a lot of customers that fly fish with our lures, but for the most part, I don't really consider myself a fly fisherman. I don't know a lot about the techniques or anything. I go out there and just swing a rod. That's all I do. There's more and more people fly fishing these days. They have a couple of fly fishing shops in Tulsa, Owasso, down south of us. They, in fact, have classes on fly tying there. They can get up to 3 pounds here locally. You're talking maybe 21, 23, 24 inches long. My biggest 3-pounder is like 20, 21, 22 inches long. It's pretty big. Look like a big old huge football. I live in Florida, so I use open cast. Yeah, that's kind of what I do when I use the 1/80ths, and I'll take like an 8 or 9 foot pole out, and I'll try to somewhat mimic fly fishing. I do have a fly rod though. Yep. Hey there, Edward. I'll go out there with a 4-pound line with the big long pole and somewhat mimic fly fishing. I've been making lures for about 15 years. Yep, we do have a lot of stuff on our website. Got over 200 items on there. These here are going to Florida. They're going to Garrard's down in, I don't know where Garrard's is. It's on Okeechobee Lake. These are going to be going to Garrard's bait and tackle. We picked up a lot of tackle stores. We picked up Roland Martin Marine, Lakeland Fish and Outfitters, Lakeport Quick Stop, Bridge Masters. We picked Lake Placid tackle. And then we also have our lures in Tulsa at Shields All Sports, also Collinsville, Oklahoma, Tackle Bandit, also Nabatac Outdoors in Claremore. And then we got a bunch of other tackle stores in the area. Hello there, 11. How did I learn how to do that? I was pretty much self-taught. I mean, I just kind of figured it's thread around a hook, and I kind of figured out how to put chenille on, and never really had anybody teach me or anything like that. Just kind of figured, it can't be that hard to make, and then so I have my own, I guess, certain style or technique that I use. But today I'm going to try to get about, I don't know, at least 200 of these tied up. I got a lot of lures to do. I got to do the rest of these, and then I got to do all of these in black. And hopefully I can get on to the next couple of orders. A lot of that will factor in how many phone calls I get, how many emails I get, how many website orders I get. Hey there, Mr. Remington. How's it going there? Yeah, I make my own heads. Can you tell you my combination for flies? Can I tell you my combination? I don't care. Hey there, Auntie. How's it going? Yeah, you can tell me, tell everybody. Nah, we'll just text it in there, your combination, and we'll just keep it between me and you. Nobody else in here, okay? Yep, we are family owned. Right now, our family owned is just me and Stephanie. I don't think anybody in the family wants to take over other than me and Stephanie. It's just me and my wife doing this. We used to have the kids. The kids used to help out a little bit. Every now and then, my younger son, Jalen, who's, 25, he'll come out in the shop and help me when I'm in a bind, when I'm in a pinch. He's too expensive, though. I can't keep him on full time. He wants too much money. My other son, my older one, he would do it for free. He would come in and help out whenever I needed it. I didn't have to pay him anything. The younger one, he's like, I'm not stepping foot unless you're going to pay me, Dad. Which I don't mind paying him. I know he needs money here and there. So interesting. I appreciate you answering my question. Yeah, I don't mind answering questions. Just don't ask any foolish questions. There's no stupid questions. Sometimes there's foolish questions. Some people trying to fool me. Sometimes people want to get me to say something that may incriminate me. Hey there, G-Dad. Do I send lures to Hawaii? I've sent lures to Hawaii one time. They ordered a bunch of sinkers and lures, and that was the last state that we had to cover. We've sold lures to every single state here in the U.S. We did that about 3 or 4 years ago. That was the last state. And the weird thing was we've sent lures to Alaska, and Alaska wasn't one of the last states, that we had. We still had states like New Hampshire and Delaware and Connecticut that ended up falling in behind Alaska. My jig head put like a base blue, that 2 chicken feathers for the wings, and take a goose feather and warp it around the back, the head of the jig, then tie them all. Okay. Yep, there'll be stupid answers. Yeah. 4, 6. So we need 18 more of these dudes. And then we can move on to the next color. Oh, well, thank you. You guys make sure to pick up G-Dad in the channel. He goes fishing quite a bit. I think he was fishing yesterday. We went out and grabbed some dinner last night, and I came back in the shop and went live for a little bit. Today I'm only going to be on a live stream till about maybe 6 o'clock, and I'll take the rest of the evening off and go play with my grandson today. This one here is called the Thunderbird. This is a 1/16 ounce. Yeah, they catch skipjack. They catch about 100 different kinds of fish. Catch perch, crappie, walleye. Catch all kinds of fish. Lots of different kinds of fish. They even catch customers in wallets. That they catch them too. Every now and then I'll get a good wallet. You want to do it? Yeah. Yeah, we do have a website. We do sell vices and tools for fly tying and feathers and all kinds of stuff. I've never been to Hawaii. I'd love to go to Hawaii. Ooh, man, oh man, oh man. Yawns are starting early today. I thought I slept good. Yeah. No, I'd love to go to Hawaii. Never been there. I don't think I'll ever go. My wife, she she doesn't like traveling a whole lot. So unfortunately, when I travel, because sometimes I get to go to some of these other countries, and I'll get asked to go there, this or there, on some of these missions, I guess you want to call them, if you want to call them missions, mission trips, little ambassador trips. And I've always asked Stephanie if she wanted to go, and she doesn't want to ever go. We had, I got offered to go to the Middle East. I'd have to say about 7 years ago. And they were going to give Stephanie enough time to go get her visa or passport. That's what it was, passport. She didn't want to go. But she's okay. She's a good lady. I married a good lady. Let's see. The Koi River and in the airport. Yeah. You saying they got a pond in the airport? If that's the case, they got some good fishing. Oh, it's a river? Oh, okay. Well, it said in the airport. Then I was going to follow up with like, well, the zoo's probably a good place to go fishing too. Go fishing at the zoo or SeaWorld. Man, we had us a marvelous time at SeaWorld last weekend. They were biting like crazy. They do have a pond over at Bass Pro outside, and it's free to fish. Everything's catch and release. Every so often, we'll see people out there fishing. Oh, yeah. At the supermarket too. Yeah. That's one thing I miss living in Florida. It seemed like every grocery store you went to had a lobster tank. I don't know if they're still that way today, but I lived in South Florida from like 86 to 1992. And it just seemed like every grocery store back then had a lobster tank. I like eating lobster. Lobster is good to eat. A lot of times I would catch my own lobster, but I didn't mind going to the grocery store and getting some fresh lobster. No fishing in the airport. Oh, okay. We've had customers come out to the shop, and when I first opened up the shop and let people know that people could come here and buy fishing, fishing lures, they were like, well, where do you get the minnows at? We're here to buy minnows. I'm like, no, we're not that kind of tackle shop. We're basically a jig and fly store. We at that time we didn't sell fishing rods and our own brand of fishing line or anything. And we would get people about every couple of weeks that would come in looking for minnows, and I bet we could. I bet we could sell a lot of minnows if I wanted to be one of those type places. Viewing from Kenya. Well, hello there from Kenya. How are you doing there? I don't even want to try to pronounce your name, but I'll just call you Coos. Hey, or Cuz. Hey there, Cuz. Lives in North Carolina. She eats a lot of seafood, she says. Yeah, I love eating seafood. I can eat seafood at least once a week. I did down there, when I lived down there. I would eat it all the time. You know, I didn't eat my first crappie till I was like in my 40s. No, the worm farm did not work out good. Those minnows that if I ever got minnows in here, they'd probably die too. I think my next, if I ever do want to do worms again, I think what I may end up doing is getting me basically a lay down refrigerator box, and just do it that way, where I have the dirt in there, and I could kind of breed the night crawler worms, or the Canadian night crawlers, because you got to keep the dirt cool. I've been wanting to have a spot where I can dig up worms in my backyard and just pick out a spot and just start, digging, because I could get some nice worms. But Stephanie doesn't like that because she doesn't want the yard all dug up. Where we used to live up in Chelsea, towards the side of our house, that's where the garden was. And I was always back there with a pickfork, or whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. Pitchfork, not a pitchfork, but a digging, I don't know what you call it, digging fork or whatever. And I was always digging up worms and fishing with them then. Koozie, well, okay, I'll try to remember that, Koozie. Be right back. I'll catch you in a little bit there, Mr. Ernie. Yeah, well, a shovel is okay, but I like using, it's a 3 or 4 pronged, basically fork. You could put your foot on it to punch it in the ground, but it doesn't cut through the worms. That's the main thing. Sometimes if you use a shovel, you're cutting a worm in half, and I cannot remember what it's called. But I think the next time we go down to the feed store, I may try to look for one. I've always had pretty good success using worms when I go catfishing. I used to love to get night crawlers with my brother, very young, and to go fishing at the Green Bar. Oh yeah. Now I do have one of those. I tried getting one of those worm collars, and I guess I had made one where you have like a piece of oak that was, I don't know, 2 foot long, and you cut these ridges in it, and you stick it in the ground, 4 to 6 inches or so, and then you grab another piece of stick and you rub it against it, and it's supposed to mimic a mole, and supposedly the worms will start crawling out of the ground. Drives them nuts, and I can never get that thing to work. What is it called? It's called a worm. Oh, worm scratcher. Worm something. I can't remember what it's called. And then I ended up buying one for $20. online, and it's pretty neat. But I just can't get the worms to come up around here. Hey there, crazy. A worm charm, yeah. There's a certain name for it. Oh, I cannot remember what it's called. There's a guy here on YouTube that he makes and sells them. He does Bible studies too, and I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if I have it nearby. Do I have it? I used to have it where I could show it off, but I may bring it out sometime. This one, we do sell this one here. We have this one on our website. This is a Peak rotary vise. It's made for tying flies. Made for tying flies. Tying flies. Time flies when you're tying flies. On my lure is probably about a, I don't know, 10 or 15 pound catfish. I think that's the biggest fish I've ever had. We had a kid catch a, it was big. I want to say it was a 16 or 18 pound drum on one of my jigs. That was a couple years back. Of all things, he was using a catfish pole with a jig on it, with my jig. And I thought, man, that's just weird. What is he trying to do? Well, he was trying to catch drum. He was at the Claremore Lake. And the catfish pole he had was probably like a little 4-footer. It's pretty stout looking rod. Hey there, Clint. Hey there, Crappie Man Jigs. Now hiring bagger. Yeah, I need to hire somebody. Come over here and work for us, Mr. Crappie Man Jigs. We need someone to come help me. You can do the plastics and I'll do the hand ties. And together we will conquer K Street here. Oh, we got 45 people in here. Yeah, you guys make sure to pick up Crappie Man Jigs. He goes live every night. Couldn't handle the Ruben Flores jig company. Yeah. I see all these, I I see a lot of guys that are they do plastics, and they want to get into the hand ties, which you do what you do, and there's guys that they're in a lot of tackle stores, and I'm not going to name them out, call them out by name or anything like that, because that's just not right. But there's been a lot of them that I've seen in the last 15 years that I've been making lures. They're really successful selling plastics. They have their plastics in, I don't know, who knows, 30, 40, 50 stores. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if they just get burnt out on making plastics, but then they want to start making hand ties. And a lot of them end up quitting it because they know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make hand-tied lures. You could make plastics and hand ties, but you're not going to be in, 50 stores. You're going to have to end up hiring people or something, eventually. But I've seen that happen with one store out in, I think it's Missouri. Pretty big outfit. They thought they would tie their own hand ties. And when the owner was tying them, they were really good hand ties. And he had a couple of sons. They would tie them. They were like really good hand ties. And they did a lot of plastics. And once they started farming out their work to these other hand-tied people to tie jigs for them, everything just went downhill as far as quality. As a break for me, yeah. I only sell like 8 of them now, though. I had too many before. Yeah. The most we've ever had on tackle stores, I think, was like 41, 42. And back then, we were selling I think we were selling a 3-pack of jigs for like $250. We sold a 3-pack of jigs for $250. Now, the sizes I had back then were 1/80th and 1/64th. And we had them in our little fold-over packages that we used to put out. And I could tie them up like crazy, Again, that's back when I wasn't using any flashing. And I could tie like 300, 400, 500 of them in a day. And I wanted to go to the bigger sizes and wanted to grow our company a little bit differently. And because some of these stores, they just weren't, I knew I could be a better promoter of my own product than those tackle stores were. And I didn't want to have to rely on their guides and their promoters to try to push our product, because their promoters were also pushing out other people's products too. And we ended up pulling out of all the tackle stores. Now we have, I think we got maybe 15 or 20 tackle stores now. I take that back. Now we have 6 more, so we're somewhere around 24, I bet. I try not to keep count. Yeah, Mike's a good guy. I've known Mike for a bunch of years. He's been a pretty good fella. I never got to meet Mike in person, but we kind of knew each other through Facebook. We were part of some of the same groups. And every so often he'll do these Facebook Lives every so often. But I think he runs and operates like a full-on, I don't know if he still does, but he used to have a full-on tackle store too. We had one of these tackle stores reach out to me probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Not tackle stores, plastic companies. They wanted me to make hand ties for them. And they wanted to pay me 50 cents a jig to tie a jig. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Are you just doing customs? Yeah. I like doing customs. It just seemed that I was always behind, and I wanted to be in a spot where I can have inventory and do it retail, where I wouldn't, the customer wouldn't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get orders. And I think the most we were ever out on custom orders was maybe 2 weeks. That's probably the longest anybody ever had to wait. But I always wanted to not work from behind, and I always wanted to have inventory in stock and do that kind of thing. And the people that we had promoting us, it's kind of hard for them to promote a custom company. I don't know. I'm glad I'm not just exclusively custom anymore. I still do some custom orders, but it's not a big part of our business model. Yeah, it is better than doing customs. Again, you're always having to work from behind. How did I get into stores to sell the products? I was just doing custom orders. And I got into my first tackle store probably about, I'd say 4 months, 3 to 4 months after I started making lures. A tackle store nearby had saw that my lures were good, and I was selling them at a local fishing dock. And he would go fishing there in the morning sometimes before he would open up his shop. And he asked me one day if I could tie lures for him in his store, not in the store, but for his store. And he gave me a price per dozen. And he said he would give me the packaging. He would supply me with some feathers. And he did that, and in the very beginning. And then it just, he never followed up with sending me material. And the material he gave me, it wasn't like a whole lot of material. And a nice guy, super great guy. But it got to the point where people were coming into a store that he had a tackle store, and they would ask for the jigs that I tied. And of course, he had like 4 or 5 people tying lures for him. And he got tired of being asked which jigs were the ones that I tied. And they were wanting to buy my lures because my lures held up better than the other people tying lures for them. Hey there, Landon. But now this is good. Hey there, Rudy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not worth my time. And that was just a couple of years ago. Yeah, we have a lot of inventory. We probably have, I don't know, maybe $10,000, $15,000 of inventory. But I always got tired of working from behind, and then always having to chase down custom orders. And I know I'm kind of a spur of the moment purchaser when it comes to buying things. And so I knew there's a lot of other people out there like that. They wanted to buy something, and they don't want to wait 2 or 3 weeks for the order. Because even if I told people I can get your order out in 2 weeks, even if I got it out in 13 days, there was always that factor of it taking anywhere from 2 to 4 days for it to get to their house. So, when I wanted to do retail, I started looking at going retail because there were people that were tying that had as much experience invested, and they were opening up these websites, and they were getting as much as $30-40 a dozen for their lures. And I thought, man, I'd rather work on that end, not make as, I mean, you know, I would rather make more money and not have to work as hard for it. And so I thought, well, I can still do customs, but let me build up a website and push the website where people can go to the website and order. And I would try to keep as much inventory as I could possible to where I could just pick it off the wall, put it in a box, ship it out the door. And that way, when we are slow, all I could do is just keep building up inventory and do it that way, you know. Let's see. I like biting off more than I could chew. Yeah. Yeah, and and we would, with custom orders, we would get customers that would like, you know, you're having to spend time on the phone and you're having to write down their orders, and you know, if they wanted a blue body, and I'm like, well, do you want an aqua blue body? Do you want a royal blue, a navy blue? Do you want the blue ice body? And they're like, well, I don't know. Can you text me a picture? And so it got to be where I was spending anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on Mondays and Tuesdays. Those were our busiest days for custom orders, where I was spending, you know, 4 to 6 hours a day on the phone taking orders. And I thought, man, I could rather be tying jigs in 6 hours, and I can tie, you know, 150 jigs in 6 hours pretty easy. And meantime, I'm working on an order for 2 dozen of jigs. I'm spending 40 minutes on the phone with them. I'm spending, part of that 40 minutes is me taking pictures of chenille and sending it over to them. And, you know, of course, they may be at work, they may, you know, and then they'd send you a text back in 15 minutes going, oh, I like that one there. And they'd go, well, can we change up the tail a little bit? Can we get some brown, like a brown tail? And so I would ask them, like, dark brown, light brown, you know. And so it just always, and maybe I made it seem harder than what it was, but it just got to be where I'm spending too much time on the phone with these people. And man, and at that time, for people that were guides, not the guides so much, but more so tournament anglers, they would throw all these goofy colors at me. And they wanted, and I knew what they were wanting to do. They wanted to get their own color of lure, and it'd be attached to their name. And I don't know if they're looking to be famous or whatever, but that was always a hassle too. And then you get tournament anglers that are like, okay, you're going to tie me this color, but I don't want you putting this picture on Facebook. And I'm like, well, that's how I make money. You know, that's how I get orders. Is I do a custom order for you. I take pictures, I put it on Facebook, and if people like it, they'll want the same order. And you have some of these tournament anglers that didn't want me doing that. And I thought, man, that's just wild. So I started charging them a little bit more money if they didn't want me to share the picture on Facebook. If they wanted to be, you know, basically wanted to own that color. Hey there, Jory. Food reviews, that sounds good. But I don't think we'll ever go back to sponsoring 10 teams, 11 teams like we did, you know, a few years back. Some of these guys that fish tournaments, uh, you know, they all want to think they want to get and become big league fishermen, and the money in crappie tournaments is awful. If you fish crappie tournaments, there's not a lot of money in it. There's not as much as there is in bass fishing, and it's just tough. So they're having to scrounge up sponsors. They're wanting to get that sponsor that will pay everything for them to go fishing, but you know, there's just not a lot of money involved. Now, if you're really good at tournaments and you win a lot of tournaments and you keep winning and you stay in the top 5, you know, for more than 2 years, there'll be sponsors that will come after you, and they want to pay for your gas, they want to pay for your hotel and all that. We're just not big enough to do anything like that. So we would have people that we would sponsor, quote unquote sponsor. We would help them out with gas, with food. We'd give them free jigs. In return, they would mention her name a few times. And then I just thought, you know, a few years back, I thought, man, I'm getting more people watching me on TikTok than these guys. They would have a national tournament, and you'd go to YouTube, and there'd only be 100 people watching them. You know, or you go to Facebook Live, where they would read out the results on these tournaments, and you're lucky if they had 100 to 300 people. And I thought, heck, I can do that. I can go live and have 100 people watch me, and people ask me questions, and I can promote my product better than they are. Now, there's some guys that want to promote it, and they want to do you right and stuff. They just have no clue on how to do social media, no clue on how to operate their phone. And so a lot of times I was always trying to help them learn how to do a live stream or how to edit pictures and videos and things like that. None of it leads to sales. Yeah, they wouldn't bring us any sales. And then on top of that, there would be all these trade shows or tackle shows, and they were getting free lures from all these other companies too. And we just, you know, came to the conclusion a couple of years ago that we're like, we're not going to do these guys. We're not going to sponsor them anymore. We got a call from, and I'm not going to name their companies because there was 3 or 4 of them. We did like a conference call. Two companies were from Missouri, one from Arkansas, another one from Alabama, another one from Texas, and then me. We all linked up together on a conference call, and they were like, do you sponsor Ruben? Do you sponsor, you know, blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, yeah, we've sponsored them for 3 years. And then you'd hear 2 other voices on the phone call go, we've been sponsoring them too for 2 years. No wonder they're not saying her name. It's like, yeah, they're like, these guys are 2-timing us and 3-timing us, you know. So, you know, so anyway, we do sponsor one team, and it's Tyler Volk and his brother Jason, and they fish the Oklahoma circuit. And we got another guy named Dwight Keller too. We don't officially sponsor him, but I always throw him extra jigs and stuff like that. I always give him extra product. He's a nice guy. He's out of Indiana. He's him and another fellow named Jeff. Jeff Book is also from Indiana. He had asked me to come fish a tournament with him when it was here in Oklahoma, and I took him up on it. And he's always been good to me. Nice people. They're not out trying to. Both of those guys, Dwight and Jeff, they own their own business. They don't have to rely on sponsor money. They've always been nice to me and good to me, and so we don't really officially sponsor them or anything like that. But anytime they want lures or anything like that, a lot of times I'll, you know, if they put in an order, I'll give them extra stuff. They've just always been really good people. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we took off our coupon code, which was the Flow 10. And then we had like 30 codes out there, and with people that were fishing on these different media apps. And within the last 2 years, we were lucky if we saw maybe 1 or 2 codes get turned in every year, if that, from these guys, or from whatever customers that would watch them on their live streams. We wouldn't get any, we wouldn't get anything from them, basically. So we took all the coupon codes off. And the funny thing about that was, we took all the coupon codes off, we got busier. We started getting a lot more busier. I was able to start putting stuff on sale and didn't have to worry about the 10% difference there. And it just always seemed that when we had coupon codes, I was always having to, if I was going to put something on sale, I would always have to factor in if somebody used the discount code, because they would get an extra 10% off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. To have it give 5% off if you add 2. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, I'm fine with stuff like that too. Yep. Remington would have been used a lot. Oh, man. Yeah, it just, and I got a lot of flack over that when we took our codes off, because some of these guys were like, man, I've been pushing your products for 2 years. And then I whenever I'd go to their live stream, I would watch them from the outside sometimes, because I didn't want to get in their live, because a lot of times I go into people's lives, they're like, hey, Ruben, how you doing? Oh, man, Ruben's in here, guys. Get your fishing rods, or get your fishing line, or get your jigs. And they always feel compelled to start talking about me. So a lot of times I would watch them, and I'm like, okay, let's see how many times they talk about our lures, or let's see how many times they talk about our rods without me being there. And a lot of times these guys, especially on the clock app, I'd watch them for a whole hour, and they wouldn't talk about our lures or anything. But once I went in the channel, their whole demeanor changed. And I don't want anybody to feel like they have to promote our product. If someone likes our product, and they're going to talk about it on their own. I would rather someone do that, and then me go ahead and just give them product or whatever, and then someone having to feel compelled to talk about our product. Oh, Ruben's in his channel again, I might as well start talking about his fishing line. I don't want anybody like that. Oh, we'll catch you later there, Mr. Clint. But there's a lot of good, honest guys out there that fish. Some of them get swept up into the whole money thing, and I feel bad for them. Some of these guys that they want to fish tournaments, and they want to do it full time, and a lot of times they're quitting their jobs. Sometimes they're getting their cars and their home repoed because they can't pay their bills. And I feel bad for those guys in some ways. They cause their own devastation there. I'd like to go fish crappie tournaments, but I'd rather put food on the plate. Rather put some food on the plate. I used to go play a lot of softball tournaments and I was always gone. Some of the teams I played for, they would pay for me to go fly here or there and go play ball, or they would, pay for me for a hotel if I drove to, to this city and played with that team. And there's just a lot of time on the road and a lot of hotels they sleep in, and I got my fair share of winning, but it was never to the extent where I could do it full time. How's it going, Miss Sandra? Well, I'm just tying up these Thunderbird lures. Lots of Thunderbird lures. Am I going to have enough of these? This is the color that I had been tying up. And yesterday, and as I was tying them up, people kept ordering them. I don't know if we have a lot of these on the wall. Let me go check on the wall. We got 1 dozen. 6, 2 dozen. Oh, do we have some of these hanging on the wall? Let me go take a look, guys. I'm sure hoping we do. Ooh, the post office lady came by. So we have what? 1, 2, 3 packs. Yeah, I think I'm going to have enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got enough here. I'm going to probably paint some more heads and glue some more eyes. Yeah, 3 pound is 3 pound saw guy. Oh, you got a saw guy. Yeah, those things are pretty, aren't they? Well, they're pretty, aren't they? I think they're pretty. Yeah, we have them up here too at, on Ulaga Lake. And there used to be people that would say, "Oh, there's no saw guy." And then one of my cousins caught one up here. And he didn't know what it was. He said it looked like a walleye. And so we ended up having to Google. We took a picture of it and Googled it, and it turned out to be a saw guy. Some people will call them a saugerai. But yeah, did you take it home? I don't know how big those things have to be. It's a cross between a sauger and a walleye. It's a hybrid walleye. Yep. It's a hybrid walleye. It's coming to me? Oh my goodness, you didn't have to do that. Well, thank you. I hear it's pretty good. I've never eaten walleye. I've never eaten a saugai before. I've always heard that they're really good fish. It's a good fish to eat. Yeah, we eat well, I have never eaten one, but I'm going to eat one, I guess, if Wayman's bringing me one. Well, it's time to try. Make sure you mark the bag that it is what it is, because I want to know what I'm eating. I know you're bringing me crappie too. Yeah, you guys don't know how good Wayman is. I can't go fishing, and it's because I've been dealing with these back issues. I just can't get out and do the fishing that I've been doing, and so for this whole last year, I've had issues of trying to stockpile on fish, and we had Kevin and Deborah. They gave us, I think, a bag or two of crappie a while back, and now Wayman is bringing me some fish too pretty soon. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Do you do any crappie fishing, Mike? Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you there, Wayman. I caught myself wanting to call Remington Wemington. Oh, man. Yeah. Wayman and Wemington. It's okay, Ruben. Ooh, somebody peeled out. Well, I normally catch crappie and sand bass. That's what I normally go fishing for. And catfish. I go fishing for catfish too. And for this whole year, I haven't been able to go do any fishing. And so we've had a few people. I say a few people. Wayman and then also Kevin and Deborah. They've been Deborah and Kevin gave us some fish too, because well, I like eating fresh fish. I just haven't been able to get any lately. We have crappie out on the lake up to 15 inches, but the largemouth are mostly what I fish for. Oh, where do you live at? We picked up a few tackle stores out on Okeechobee here in the last month. We have 6 tackle stores in Florida now. Turner likes Captain D's. Does he? Oh man, I don't think I've ever eaten at Captain D's. We used to have a Captain D's nearby, but it's been a while. I used to like Long John Silver's, but we don't have them anymore either. Near Lakeland. Oh, okay. We do have Lakeland Tackle. We have Lakeland Tackle. We got Lakeport Quick Stop. We got Roland Martin Marine. We have Bridge Masters. We have Garrard's. And we have, I can't think of the other one. Lake Placid. Lake Placid. That's the 6th one. Oh, good. That's awesome. Yeah, you'll see our lures there. They have them set up there. I'm working on Garrard's order right now. Or Garrett's order. Matter of fact, I think this Thunderbirds in all of the tackle stores, they all didn't order the same. Some stores got this color, some stores got that color, but I believe every store has this color. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, we have well, I'm out of Oklahoma. That's where I'm out of. It tastes all the same there. Yeah. I mean, I like eating it every now and then. I haven't eaten any in a couple of years because they closed the one down here in town. They turned it into a Dutch Brothers coffee. That's what they turned the Long John Silvers into. 3-inch swim baits, fishing for bass. Oh, yeah. Is it true? Are there iguanas falling from the trees? I used to live in South Florida, and they didn't have the infestation of iguanas like they do today. There are iguanas everywhere down there now. I was on somebody's channel, and they were talking about iguanas falling out of the trees. They're dropping, yeah. Yeah, I lived in South Florida from like 86 to 92. I liked it down there. I really felt the Lord calling me to go to California for Bible school, and I went to college down in South California. Oh, you liked it? Oh, yeah. KFC's okay. I like KFC here. I like Popeyes probably better than KFC, and we don't have a Popeyes chicken locally. My wife and them like going to a place called Charlie's Chicken, and their chicken tastes really bland. Just has no flavor to it. It's like they cook it and they don't even put any seasoning in it. Charlie's is sold. Oh, are they really? Yeah. Have a Long John's by us. Yeah, they have a Long John's in Tulsa. They just closed down the one probably about 6-7 years ago here in Claremore. They used to also have a Golden Corral, and they closed that down too. Now they got a Golden Corral still in Tulsa, but not up here. My wife likes going to Subway. I don't really care to go to Subway a whole lot. I started watching some of these people are making videos of going to Long John, oh, not Long John Silver's, but to Subways, and they're buying a foot long, and what they're doing is they're measuring their foot long sub, and in some cases the foot long's not even a foot long anymore. It's like 10 inches. And the chocolate. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you had to be 70 teeth there. Yeah. Yeah, I used to like eating at Cracker Barrel, and they didn't do the remodeling at our local Cracker Barrel, but they changed the menu up. And you open up the menu, and it looks like you're looking at a Denny's menu or something now. And we ordered something. I got like some stew, and I thought I would like that, and it was blandy as heck. And I'm like, I don't think we're ever going back there again. It's the same there too, yeah. Yeah, we went to a Cracker Barrel a couple of years, well, last year, or should it not even last year? It was last summer. We went to one in Texas, and it was pretty good. And then I decided, hey, let's go to Cracker Barrel, Stephanie. And Stephanie's like, oh, you're not gonna like it. I don't like it there. And I'm like, let's just go. Let's give it a try. And I thought, man, we're never going back there again. They changed the menu. Now, they still had all the old relic pictures and stuff like that there, but we're not going to go back there. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a break here. I've been on here an hour and a half, and I got to go check the mail. We had the mail get here, and I got to do some phone calls here in just a bit. So we will see you guys later on. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you guys later on. Thank you again for watching. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.